Welcome back to my channel, Cook, Plate, Repeat. Are you tired of basic spaghetti? Well, let's give this dish some CPR, Cook, Plate, Repeat style, and transform this dish into a restaurant quality masterpiece. Let's get started. Okay, these are the seasonings we're gonna use. Salt, pepper, basil, red pepper flakes, oregano, fennel seeds, parsley, bay leaf powder, sugar and rosemary powder, and minced garlic. For garnish, we're gonna be using Parmesan cheese. For our meat, we have Italian sausage, grass-fed beef. We'll be using Barilla spaghetti. We have 2 cans of crushed tomatoes, 2 cans of tomato sauce, and 2 cans of tomato paste. We're also gonna be using I call this my secret ingredient, 1 cup of Chardonnay. All right, so let's go ahead and start cooking our meat. The first thing we're gonna do is start cooking our minced garlic. So we're just gonna add some olive oil to this pan, okay? A little bit more, set that to the side. Now we're just gonna go ahead and add in our garlic. Just gonna give that a good mix. And you can just smell that garlic sizzling, that aroma from that garlic and that oil sizzling in the pan. All right, so now we're gonna give this a few more minutes. I'm generally gonna cook this for about, let's say, 3 to 4 minutes. Now we're gonna add in our meat, okay? We're gonna start with beef. Now this is grass-fed beef. I'm using 2 pounds of this beef because I wanted some sauce left over. So we're gonna add in our beef. We're gonna get that mixed in here. We're gonna add in the 2nd pound. Now this beef, you know, you might be thinking, hey, look, this is a lot of beef. When it cooks down, you're not gonna have as much as you think. So this beef is gonna cook down. And this beef is about 85%, so the volume of it is definitely gonna change. You mix that all in. And you're gonna continuously be mixing this and chopping this meat up until it gets nice and grounded. When I first made this meat sauce, it was better than anything I ever tasted as far as spaghetti goes. So this is gonna be some very, very good flavorful meat sauce. And when we add in that white wine, that's definitely gonna take the flavor up a notch. So we're gonna go ahead and add in Italian sausage a little bit at a time. Now I'm using mild because I want that extra kick. You can use sweet Italian sausage if you like. Some people even use hot Italian sausage, but for traditional spaghetti, this has like an Italian American vibe and flavor profile, but traditionally you use sweet Italian sausage. That's coming along nicely. Increase the heat a little bit. Just mashing this meat down and go ahead and add in the rest of our Italian sausage. All right, and we're just gonna cook this, mash it in until it's done. And you can see that's coming together real nice. Now you can use 1.5 pounds or 1 pound of beef and sausage, of ground beef and ground sausage, if you want. I want to have some meat sauce left over, and I'm making this for a good amount of people, so I just want to make sure I have enough. So that's why I'm using 2 pounds of Italian sausage and 2 pounds of ground beef. Also, the ingredients will be in the description box below, especially the seasonings that I use. Okay, our ground beef and our Italian sausage are nicely cooked, nice and brown, and then broken up very nicely. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna add in our tomato paste, our tomato sauce, mix that in, and then we're gonna add in our crushed tomatoes. Add in our tomato paste. Make sure we get all of that. There we go. All right. Then we're gonna add in our tomato sauce. We're gonna mix that all around, and then we're gonna add in our crushed tomatoes. We'll reduce our temperature a little bit to low, so we get everything mixed in, and then we'll increase the temperature a little bit. That looks nice. Just gonna fold that in. All right, we're gonna add in our crushed tomatoes. It's looking good. Increase our heat some. All right, look at that, that looks really nice. Okay, so now we're gonna put in our seasonings. We have salt, pepper, basil, oregano, fennel seeds, sage powder. Actually, that's bay leaf powder. So that's bay leaf powder. Rosemary powder, red pepper flakes, dried parsley, and our sugar. Okay, all these seasonings is gonna elevate our meat sauce, okay? And then we're gonna add the secret ingredient at the end, which is our Chardonnay. That's gonna intensify the flavor. All right, we just go ahead and make sure this is nicely mixed in. Before we add in our wine, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transfer this to the pot we're gonna work with at the end. So bear with me while I do that. All right, so we're just transferring this meat sauce into another pot. And I want you guys to see how nice this meat sauce looks. It looks really good. And it's gonna taste very flavorful. This is definitely gonna up your spaghetti game. When you make spaghetti, many people are gonna wanna come over your house and have lunch or dinner. And because we're making this big of a batch, you can save it for later in the refrigerator and have it for dinner multiple nights. You know, making spaghetti sauce or meat sauce the old-fashioned way with tomato paste, crushed tomatoes, and tomato sauce is the best way. You can make, spaghetti on the fly with, tomato sauce from the store. But if you want to elevate your cooking and be in control of what you put in your sauce and specify and critique the taste of the sauce, make it yourself. No sauce left behind. So we've transferred our sauce. We can put that back up here. And again, you can see how nice that sauce is. And once it cooks down even more, it's gonna be even better. Just look at that, how nice that sauce is. Put our ladle down, turn the heat back on. And while that's heating up a little bit, what I'm gonna do is take our white wine, and this is the white wine we're using. Okay, a Chardonnay. Now you can use another type of white wine if you like, but Chardonnay works very well. And I got this from Costco. So we can just use 1 cup of this. Now you can go a little overboard if you want to use more, but you're gonna have to let that cook down. Approximately 1 cup was left. All right, so we're gonna pour that in. That smells wonderful. Now it's not that much left in this bottle, so I'm just gonna put that in, and that bottle's done. So we're gonna mix this in, and we're gonna let it simmer about 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, we want this to cook down a little bit. You want all those seasonings to be well combined. And then what we're gonna do after it cooks down a little bit, we're gonna taste it. It's already bubbling. It'll come to a nice slow simmer. Let it come to a simmer. I want them to see it too. Okay guys, what I decided to do to make the sauce a little bit richer is to add an onion. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut an onion up, and then I'm going to saute it. I'm going to add it to the sauce. What we're gonna do now, we're just gonna saute our onions until they're translucent, and then we're gonna add them back to the sauce and let the sauce cook for another about 15 minutes. So you can cook your sauce between 30 and 45 minutes. You just wanna make sure the sauce reduces nicely. Move that around a little bit. And we're just gonna add our onions. You hear that sizzle. We're just gonna mix them and cook them till they're nice and translucent. All right, so this looks like we're there. So we're gonna add this to our sauce, and then we're gonna let the sauce cook for about another 12 to 15 minutes. Okay guys, so we've added our onions, and as you can see around the rim of this pot where the sauce was and how much it has reduced. And so that's what we want. And by adding the onions, it reduces the acidity and makes the sauce more meaty. And the main thing is that it cuts down on the acidity. It also adds a slight enhanced flavor as well. Now you can omit the onions. You don't have to keep the onions in here. You don't have to put onions in here, but adding onions always helps. And as you can see, to me, what I see is that it made the sauce a little bit more richer. All right, so we're gonna let this simmer for additional 12 to 15 minutes, and then we'll cook our noodles. We're almost done, folks. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is start boiling our water. Our sauce has about 12 more minutes to cook, By the time it stops cooking, our water should be boiling, and then we'll add our noodles. All right, guys, so our water is at a roiling boil. So what we're gonna do now is add in our noodles. Now, if you can look closely, what I did add to my water was some olive oil, okay? You see this olive oil over here? I added the olive oil so that my noodles don't stick. You don't have to do this, it's up to you, but that's what I like to do. So let's go ahead and add in our noodles. All right, we're just gonna break them apart. Add in one more stack. You know what, we'll do one more. We can save the noodles, any extra for later. All right, we're gonna give that about 6 minutes until they're al dente, and then we'll drain them. See you in about 6 minutes. All right, guys, our spaghetti is done, so let's go ahead and drain our noodles. Okay, you did it for exactly 6 minutes. Yeah, al dente or done. We're gonna let them cool for a little bit, and then we're gonna start plating. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit of olive oil to make sure that these don't continue to stick. All right, that's about all you need. You just mix that around. All right, so let's go ahead and start plating. All right, guys, so we cooked it, we plated it. Now let's see how good it tastes. This looks really good. I'm very satisfied with this. The spices are not overwhelming. It tastes anything better that you can get out of the store. The meat sauce is on point. The sauce is not too thick and not too loose or runny. It's just right. And they added Parmesan cheese on top, even enhances the flavor even more. Makes it even more creamy. So guys, this recipe is a hit. To me, it's better than anything that you can get out of a restaurant, and you can make it right at home. Again, we cooked it, we plated it, and we'll see you next episode when we repeat the process. If you like this recipe, please hit that notification bell and like my channel and subscribe. And tell your friends about my channel as well. Again, from my kitchen to your kitchen, much love, and we'll see you next episode.